Hey everyone, it is about like 9 p.m. here my time on a Saturday night, and I'm sitting here watching my favorite Hallmark channel because every Saturday night they drop a new movie. And so I was at my auntie's house, we were cleaning up, and so not only am I moving, but my auntie has to move out of her house, and this is the last weekend that she's can stay in the house. So we're just busy packing everything up and putting things in storage because she's still staying on island. I, however, am moving across the Pacific Ocean. So, um, anyhow, I've been over there yesterday, today, and we're going back again tomorrow to help with all of that. And I know a lot of people were wondering why, you know, we're deciding to move across the Pacific. So the main reason is because my daughter is going to college, and so she's my youngest. And she's a senior in high school this year. And, my husband and I got the word that they were hiring. Um, so, well, my husband and I met at the Chevron refinery here in Hawaii, and Chevron sold the refinery to an investor, and anyhow, Chevron is just a good company to work for. And so we are moving to LA to another refinery um, because, you know, they are a good company and they take care of us. So, all of that being said, um, yeah, so my daughter's going to college, and so I'm watching. I don't know if you've seen the commercial where the boy gets his college acceptance letter, and then he's baking cookies, and then the mom comes home, and there's a handwritten letter that says, "Mom, we did it." And so I'm guessing she's a single mom, and because I didn't see a dad in the commercial. So anyhow, yeah, and so that just kind of struck me. I mean, I've seen the commercial a lot because they play it a lot here on the Hallmark Channel, but I was just like, ugh, you know, it made me just start thinking about what kind of mom I was. Because I was a single mom. I'm married now, but for about 8 years of my kid's life, I was a single mom or more. Ugh. I mean, yeah, because I didn't get married, but I had dated, like I had a long term relationship and stuff like that. So, um, yeah. So 8 years I was a single mom, and my I was helping my auntie pack this weekend, and on the way to her house, she and I were talking in the car, and I was telling her some of the things that I went through as a single parent, because so my auntie's a widower, um, and widow, not a widower. I'm so sorry, widow. My auntie's a widow, and she got thrust into singlehood for a different reason, and it was just kind of like she's like, man, I never knew how hard being a single mom is. And she's like, I give you credit, like, because we're talking about the past and our kids, and because it's always about, when you go to a family thing, they're like, how are you, how are your kids, blah blah blah, like, how's the family, right? So you know you, that's usually what we talk about when we are hanging out with family. um where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so we've been talking about um that, and then I'm watching this commercial tonight about the single mom and the boy going away to college, and I'm just like and so the thing that I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about is, I'm sitting here, I'm soon to be empty nesting, and I'm actually like leaving. We're all leaving the nest pretty much because we're all kind of splitting up and going our own ways. And my daughter's going to college. My husband and I are moving to California, and like yeah, we're all leaving the nest. So I know I'm dilly dallying because the thing that I wanted to talk about tonight is about regrets and how I really wasn't there when I was a single mom. So I was a single mom, also a shift worker at the time, and us telling my auntie there was this one time where my daughter got kicked off of the soccer team. And she was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah." So I had two kids in soccer, but they were playing on two different parks. So um one was farther away, and I had to referee. And so, I'm just thankful that I have family here that was helping me with the kids. That time, I was living with my grandma because we had sold the house in the divorce, and I needed a place to stay, and I just needed someone to help me watch my kids because I was a shift worker, right? And so my cousin was helping me by taking my daughter to her game because I had to referee. Because in AYSO, like, the parents have to referee, you know, whatever, U12, 14, whatever, I had to referee. And so my daughter got dropped off at her game, but she couldn't find the team, so she ended up walking home from the park. I mean, this was her practice park, so it wasn't a big deal. So she knew how to get home. And one of the other moms saw her walking away from the field, like down the street, when they were on their way to the field. And I guess the rules for ASO is U6. I think she was U6. Yeah. Like, the parent is supposed to be with their child at all times. And then, there was like no parking at the field. So my cousin had dropped her off, was trying to find parking, and she got lost. And in her instinct, she decided to walk home because she knew where home was. She's like, "Can't find my team. I might as well go home." And so another parent picked her up, brought her back to the field, to the game, and then my daughter got cut from the team. Actually, we got cut from the team because I got a talking to by the coach, who has never been a single parent, does not know what it's like to be a single parent. And, she's like, "Well, these are the rules," which I get it. And she had to, but like the way she said it wasn't even apologetic. She was just very stern. And she was like, "These are the rules. You didn't follow the rules. And so, bye-bye." I was just like, lady. Right? So, like, ASO is all volunteer, right? So her daughter was on the team. That's why she was the coach. And I'm like, I've played soccer myself. I could probably coach too. I should just make, I was doing all the things. Like, I should just make my own soccer team. Maybe, I'll make my own soccer team and make your daughter not, I was like, I don't say I was less saved, but I was not in a space to tolerate that kind of stuff back then. And so, hi. I don't know who, I see someone popped in. I don't know who you are. If you want to say hi, let me know who you are. But yeah, I was just talking about my daughter and how she got kicked off the team because I was a single mom and I wasn't at the field with her. And she ended up walking home. And then the coach kicked me off the team, pretty much. And yeah, because she doesn't. Oh, hi, Sarah. Yeah, because I didn't follow the rules, but I was at a different field because my son was playing. He's in a different age bracket, so we were in a different location altogether, not even a different field at the same park. And my cousin had dropped her off, trying to find parking, and she got lost, and she ended up walking home because she knew how to get home from the field. Anyhow, yeah, we got kicked off the team, and I was just really upset at that mom. And so I'm supposed to be talking about college, but like, I'm sitting here, it's a Saturday night, I'm home alone, watching the Hallmark Channel, and a commercial pops up, and I'm just like getting all the feels. And like, so that soccer story is like one of my biggest regrets. Like, I was pushing my son to play all these sports because when I was married, my husband didn't want to be a soccer dad. He's like, I don't want the kids in sports because that takes away time from me, because he was also a shift worker like how I was. And so he was just like, no, I don't want to spend my time on the soccer field or baseball field or whatever. It's like, so we didn't join sports. And so I got divorced when my son was 9, and so I put him in all the sports because I'm like, well, if he wants to get into a good school. And so there's a Hawaiian private school here that I wanted him to get into, but they really want your children to be well rounded. And so I was pushing him to do all the sports. I mean, take him to Kumon tutoring, all the things just to try and get him into this school, because it used to be very college preparatory. That's the school that I went to, and it's only available to Native Hawaiian children. So anyhow, I was pushing my kids to play sports, and yeah, I overextended myself because my kid got kicked off the soccer team. So, um, but yeah, I was watching the commercial, and he wrote the letter like, "Mom, we did it." And I'm trying not to tear up right now, but it touched me so much, and there's so many regrets because I wasn't there. I didn't really decide to keep working. I was a single parent, and I couldn't quit my job and get government assistance. Like, that wasn't allowed. So, yeah, there was still, because I voluntarily quit my job to stay home, but I desperately wanted a different career path. I didn't want to keep working the shift working thing. And so that's why I joined HCI, which is right, Sarah, that's where you and I met. I joined HCI with the intention that I was going to quit my job, in which I did, yay, to be a full-time coach, because I wanted to be home with my kids. And so, I'm grateful. Like, it took me all the way till my daughter's senior year to finally be self-employed and have the time freedom that I want and be here for my kids, and I mean, it's a struggle. I mean, working for yourself, it's not a steady paycheck. It's feast, famine. I mean, when it's good, it's really good, and then when it's not so good, but thank God I had a corporate job, and we put money away. There's a rainy day fund. Thank God there's a rainy day fund. But you know what I'm saying, it's just like so many times I wish I was home with my daughter. And so there's this other story. I was never there for her picture day. It's like I had a rotating shifts, and it was like every single year I was not home to do her hair and whatever, get her dressed and ready for school, because all the schools that she attended, she had to wear a uniform to school, whether it was public school, private school. They either had a T-shirt or they had a full-on uniform, and so school picture day was important, and I wasn't home, and you know, um, I just regret not being there for my kids. And so um I've been having a home-based business since 2003. This is when I was still married. I was doing a health and wellness business. I mean, I still do health and wellness today, but I was doing a health and wellness business, and 2003, and then like 2005, 6, our divorce was really long. So 05, 06, I was going through the divorce and all of the therapy. Like, I had therapy, the kids had therapy. That's a whole nother story that I may never share about, why my kids ended up in therapy. But, you know, yeah. So I've been trying to build my home-based business since 2003. It is 2019, y'all. I finally did it in 2018. But So 15 years I've been plugging away at this. So I've been working and doing my business on the side, and there's just so much regret when I was watching the commercial. Not that it's a bad thing, but I know the struggle that single parents have. And that's why I brought up the coach story, because she was not a single parent. She had no idea, like, it, like the struggles that I had just getting my kid to the park. Because I think that day I had to referee, but there are some days where I would come straight from work, shower, go to the field, spend like the day in the hot sun, and then have to report back to work at 5 p.m. And you got to do snacks, you got to referee. The like it's Yeah, because yet you have to referee a different game, so you have to stay for the game before or after, and then also stay for your kids' game. So like Saturdays we're at the field like all day. Yeah, and the other mom who was the volunteer coach for my daughter's team, I was like, you don't even get it. Like I wish I could clone myself. And so I posted on my IG, I was like, hey, anybody want to clone them? Ever wish that they could clone themselves? Because I have, and I got 100% no response. So maybe like just one person responded no. And that's why I got that response. But I mean, I have wanted to clone myself, because there are times where I'm stuck at work. I'm working a 12-hour shift, and my daughter has picture day, or my daughter has a field trip, and like there's so many things that I never got to do, because I was so busy working. And back then it wasn't even about anything but survival, like literally surviving. And the only reason why I quit my job was because I had health issues. There's other factors, but the main reason why I quit my job was because shift work and my health was getting affected. My adrenals were burnt, and my doctors, at the time I got tested, the doctors were like, I don't even know how you are walking around, because you should be like laid up in bed with these numbers that are showing up on your report. And I'm like, I'm just keep on keeping on, and that's just how I was going. So, all of that to say, this is, I'm just sharing my testimony. I'm sharing with you, like, if you are a single mom, or if you know a single mom, go ahead and share this. There's a lot of rambling, but the stories are here to let you know that you're not alone. And if I could have cloned myself back in the day, I definitely, if I just had another wife. And like, I used to joke about that all the time with my guy friends at work. They're like, you didn't want to work any overtime, because we were so slammed, like overtime was mandatory. And I'm like, no. I have laundry pile up back home. It's like, this is like my last pair of underwear. I was like, I don't have a wife at home sitting there washing my laundry, washing the dishes, cooking me dinner. I'm like, I have to do this, what you guys are doing, plus be a wife and a mom at home. I wasn't a wife, but you know what I mean? The whole mom thing, cooking, cleaning, and like, if I'm here on the job, that means my house is dirty. I haven't cleaned it, and so I was talking with someone else, and the idea popped into my head that I should start some kind of like, so a lot of you who are on this page are here because you also have businesses, and that's why you're on my business page. But the thing that, the idea that popped into my brain was like, what are some of the things that I was struggling with as a single parent? And so I'm working on a single mom survivor series, meaning like the things that I did that kept me sane during my divorce. How to get to the empty nest phase without regret. And that's going to be a reverse build. Just don't do what I did, and you should probably feel better about yourself. But I digress. So I am just building out these resources because it's kind of like what's been hitting my heart, and I'm like, if I needed it, like I wish I had resources like this. I'm just gonna build them and give them out to my friends, to my followers for free, and just see if they like that. So if you want to be a part of like helping me build out this single mom survivor series, like what are some of the things that you wish you had when you were when you anyway, some of the things I wish I had when I was a single mom, I'm gonna build, right? Like even like budgeting. It's like I went from a double income to a single income. Dude, that was stressful. Um, and I didn't have my side hustle going on at the time, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it was going, but it wasn't going on, it wasn't blowing up, you know what I mean? So, I'm building those things out. If you'd like more, just comment below or send me a DM, and I would love to like, I don't know, like even we could hop on a call, like a Zoom chat or something, because I'd love to build out a resource that you need. So like you could, yeah. All of that to say, you know, don't do what I did. I mean, I'm talking a lot about regret and living in the past today, but I mean, the reason why I am here doing this is because I don't want you to get the same feels that I just got tonight when I was watching that commercial about a kid going off to college. Like, yay, mom, we did it. And I'm thinking, like, I was never there for my kids. I was there as much as possible, as humanly possible, as one body could be being a shift worker. But, there are a lot of things that I wish I didn't do. I should have paid more attention to my kids when they were younger, and I should have loved more on them, but I was not loved on myself, and so I didn't know how to be that level of love for my kids, because I thought however I was doing it was normal, because that's how I was treated. And then, the whole Cosby Show, I'm like, that's fake. Watching Hallmark Channel, that's fake. I mean, you can laugh along with me, but I mean, as fake as it is, it touches me, and that's why I watch it. I don't know. I also want to build out a series about Hallmark Channel versus real life love. Hashtag real life love. Like the real love doesn't always. It doesn't happen like that. You don't get your like dream man in 2 hours. Sometimes we have to be a different person, ourselves, in order to be the mate that finds a good, well, the Bible says, right, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. But, as wives, we want to be a good thing when we are found, or as single people. And it's hard when you have kids, then you have to mix in the new man, and the whole blended family thing is just a thing, right? So, anyhow, I was actually in the middle of dinner and watching TV, and I decided to pop on this live. So, if you want any of those resources, or if you want to help me build out any of them, comment below. Hit me up on a DM, and then we can start chatting about how to build some of these things out. I'm like so excited to get these into your hands. I don't look excited right now because I got home like at 1 a.m. last night, and I slept, and then woke up this morning at 6 a.m. to hit it at my auntie's house again. So yeah, I'm just gonna eat and go to bed. But thank you for staying on this long, and I just love you guys, and let me know if you need some of those resources. Love you guys. Mwah. Good night.